Will,
Yeah.
if you had magical powers, what would be the first thing you did?
I don't know if I can say it because we said we weren't going to talk about killing
Okay,
this
well,
time.
okay, what would be the second thing you did?
Okay, world peace.
That's boring.
That is boring.
I would, rob a bank. No, God, why are we criminals?
We are just criminals.
I would want self-gain, right? I would want to use magic for, selfish purposes because I don't know, I just want things that I don't have.
It's funny because I would always remember whenever we had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, who I will not name here for his own safety.
Of course.
It would always be, he would absolutely fall to power and just
for sure,
do terrible things. And the rest of us were like, bro, why?
Okay, but as I've gotten older, I totally get it, and I would probably fall to power. I've thought about this on a drive home, too. It's just I would, if given the opportunity for, power beyond my own mortal comprehension, I would probably use it for... I'm not saying that I want to, become a supervillain on most occasions.
Yeah.
But I would probably rob the aforementioned bank that does not exist in my mind.
I feel like I would do quote-unquote bad things, but want to make them happen to bad people.
Exactly.
And so that's...
It's like you should give us the death note.
Yeah.
And I trust us, we're not going to use that for, bad things.
Yeah, I'm not going to dox someone online because they don't like me and just make them die, but, there are some just terrible people out there who, write it in a book, gone.
At the end of the day, Light had a good point at the start.
In the first 15 minutes of the series?
Look, he's, yeah.
Okay. I say this having never watched Death Note in my life.
Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Holidaze podcast.
We're in the double digits?
We're in the double digits, which is, a really... It's I know it's not a momentous occasion or anything like that, but it is knowing our personal track record for starting
absolutely.
and stopping things on our own whims because we get bored or tired of something really quickly.
And we already have twice now.
And we already have twice, but hey, we kept at it. We're here. We did it. I'm Tyler, that's Will, and we are a media consuming podcast where we watch various holiday-themed movies based on the current time of year we are experiencing. We've been doing Halloween, and this will be the last Halloween episode. And to end it, we have a double feature because we watched a Disney-produced movie about some witch sisters that cause some mischief and mayhem with their powers. That's right. We watched Twitches 1 and 2.
Oh, Twitches.
A movie starring Tia and Tamara Mowry of sister fame from the mid-90s, late 90s?
94 to 99, I believe, is what we read about that.
As twin Twitches, that discover that they are the magical princesses of a alternate universe kingdom that has fallen to the darkness. And these movies for its time were really fun and intriguing. And I remember when I experienced these movies when I was younger. Will did not, and I put him through it just recently.
I feel like I remember seeing an ending scene here or there from these movies, but I could also be confusing it with Halloween Town or something.
I just remember like always wishing that I would want like more of this world. Like I wanted more besides the movies, like I don't know, a TV show or something like that, or anything that like I thought like, oh, this is really cool. They have like an interesting premise, especially after the second one. And then they just sort of drop it, and that's fine. That's how it goes, and it's not like it needed more. But younger me wasn't going to go read the books, or probably didn't even know the books existed, for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, they would say, of course, at the credits, based on books by...
I didn't watch credits. Do you think young me watched credits?
H.B. Gilmore and Randy Reesfield did Twitches. Oh, funny, called Witches, Hexengirls for their releases in German and French. Anyway, the thing is, I like Little Witch media.
Of course.
Not the anime.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure it's fine. I've heard it's fine for the first season at least. But I like Little Witch media. All-time favorite still currently is The Worst Witch on Netflix. Everybody go watch that. And this was entertaining enough. But after reading what the books were actually about, I got some words, Disney. Like, I got some thoughts.
There's such an interesting discrepancy between the two that we will obviously get into, but it's so strange the differences that they made between the books and this movie, and a part of me understands why, but when you think about how these characters act and the age they are in the movie versus the age that they were in the original material, some things don't line up and also just feel a little awkward.
It's so strange because this movie, we start out on, well, we have our opening of the darkness, the evil is taking over the magical alternate dimension of Coventry. One of 9 dimensions that they kind of drop on us just in a line. They were doing it before Marvel could even think of it. And we have the twin sisters, Apollo and Artemis, who are separated at birth. Wow, it's just like sister.
Yeah.
And sent away to live different lives on Earth by their 2 magic protectors. One of the sisters, I believe Apollo, who is renamed Cameron, is adopted by a wealthy family and lives basically a charmed life, essentially.
Watched over by Ileana. Her caretaker is sort of a bimbo witch.
Kind-hearted ditz.
Yeah, kind-hearted
she's very
ditz.
sweet, but she's very empty head, no thoughts.
Yes.
Artemis is renamed Alex and is adopted by a single mother, said to live in Montana or something like that.
In a trailer park in Montana.
Yeah.
Taken in or overseen by her magical protector, Karsh, who is a more prissy...
It's very stick up his butt.
Stick up his butt, he's... Ileana and Karsh are the comic relief characters, and as we put it, Cosmo and Wanda, if they swapped genders.
Mm-hmm.
But they're around, but they're not extremely important to the plot, but they are there, so we have to talk about them.
I was trying to remember where necessarily they were at, actually, because I think it was in the settings. Massachusetts. They're in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we fast forward to their 21st birthday. Here's our first thing. We have Tia and Tamara Mowry, who they're fine. I love them. They know how to act. They know how to have a good time. I enjoyed Sister Sister. And they are celebrating their 21st birthdays separately. Until they have a chance meeting that was set up by their guardians, because they need to discover their magic powers and discover each other in order to save the day and Coventry from the darkness. I'm gathering myself, because these characters in the books are 14 when this happens. And it feels like they wrote these characters to act like they are still 14.
Yeah, at the very least, within the teenage years, they have, the rich girl is ooh, let's go shopping with my bestie.
Yeah.
Or ooh, look at that boy, I'm gonna go flirt.
There is a lot of this, because as the books describe, Cameron is very preppy, outgoing.
Up with the sun. If the sun's up, she's up. The optimist to
Upbeat.
Alex is not, Alex isn't a pessimist exactly, but she's
Alex
definitely
is
more low-key.
She's described as spunky and cynical.
Yes.
And
extremely.
she's the goth girl who changes her hair with her magic, but that's book stuff before this. But you have these two very diverse personalities to these characters, and it's a little strange in this movie when you have something like Cameron being like, oh my gosh, let's go shopping, girls, and like getting into like boy drama, which is more of a second movie thing. But it's like, then she just drops, oh yeah, I'm an art major. And you're like, you're in college?
She's an art major in college, and I would imagine has been in college for a number of years, that since she is 21.
Yeah.
And this is like, it is a major point of the character, because we see a lot of realistic like sketches of like a fantasy setting in Cameron's art, like a castle from like an old English styled like castle set against the mountain with like a giant planet with a ring surrounding it in the background.
Yeah.
Pictures of a beautiful woman that like has a similar amulet that Cameron has, except it's Cameron has a star amulet, and the woman in her pictures has a star, not a star, a sun amulet, and the woman in the pictures has a sun and a moon amulet. This also coincides with Alex's amulet, which is of a crescent moon. But we just like get this feeling like, oh, this character has some depth to her, but we don't really see that.
Yeah. There is a weird thing of Alex's main backstory issue is her mom died 3 months ago, her adoptive mother, and now she is living with her best friend Lucinda and her family.
Yes. And like a very small, not like a bad house, but you can tell it's like an older house. It's pretty small.
I felt like it was an apartment complex, if anything. I felt like they were in an apartment.
I think it was more of like if anything, it was maybe like a duplex, but it was definitely like I thought of it like a really small old house.
So she's living with them, and she's like, oh, I've got to get a job because I got to support myself, and I have to take care of this, that, and the other. We never know how her mom dies in the movie. Just doesn't come up. In the books, apparently it was lung cancer.
I feel like that's a really rough topic to
just drop that on a kid,
on like 10-year-olds whenever this came out.
Yeah. So we've got this of like Alex is struggling with this, but that we can't really tell at certain times. Like there are moments in the movie where she's like, I'm all alone and I don't have a family and all I had was my mom and now she's gone. And then there are other moments where she's just like, no, I'm doing good. I'm hanging out. I'm having fun. I'm being a girly girl, like whatever. And it's like, where are we in this? Because I would think 3 months after your family's, like your mother's death, you'd be having it pretty raw. Like not a good time.
The pacing in this movie is definitely very off at times because it's really weird to think that this movie takes place in a single day, because it has to, because it takes place on their birthday of October 31st.
Yeah.
And because of prophecy and whatever else, things have to happen on this one day. But it feels like things both slow down and speed up depending on when they need it to. And so it'll like, we have like really long stretches of Alex and Cameron after they meet hanging out for like a montage or two. And it just feels like, obviously since the movie is as short as it is, it all gets done in a certain amount of time, but it feels like they have been together like for hours and hours and hours, and a lot happens in this amount of time where they go through an entire like up and like a rise and fall of character arcs before having to reach the ending
in a day.
Yeah, in a single day. So I guess on one hand, to be in Alex's corner, she does start this day like one. Okay, I am in her shoes. I am Alex in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
She has woken up probably before 10 o'clock. I don't remember if they say an exact time, but I believe Lucinda jokes that like, oh, you're up before like 11. That's surprising. Mm-hmm. And we know that Alex has stayed up writing all night because that's what she does. She like, while Cameron draws like things that she like vaguely dreams of from Coventry, Alex has visions that she writes down and is able to like more or less plot out what this fantasy world is, or at least to her is a fantasy world.
It's not super well explained because they they call it like, oh, she has the gift of knowledge, and whether that's like a prophecy thing or
yeah, she has the gift of knowing and Cameron has the gift of sight. These things are important, but not really. They exist to sort of reference to push the plot along, but they don't really come up in any major manner that I wish they did. I'll have more thoughts on that in the second movie because I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But from Alex's point of view, she's woken up after like being up to like 3 a.m. It's like she's gotten like 6 hours of sleep. She knows she has to go get a job today so she can start supporting herself and not have to overly rely on the grace of her friend. And then she just suddenly bumps into someone who looks exactly like her and is like, oh my god, we're sisters. And I feel like the low energy that Alex is running on, she obviously just could not keep up with that. Like, she is going through it at the moment, and I get why like Alex has these moments of like, I don't want to deal with this. This isn't real. It's a weird coincidence that we look alike. We can't be sisters. That doesn't happen in reality. I gotta go.
Right.
She comes around to it, of course, but again, it does sort of happen really quickly at times. But that's the fault of it being a movie and a movie from 2005 on a Disney original movie budget. It happens.
The issue that I kind of have with that in a way is how Alex bounces between, again, she's like, oh, like, she doesn't express a lot of stuff about the whole, oh, my mom died and I feel really sad about that, and like, how is she processing or working with that kind of thing. And instead, it's like, and she doesn't want to really have anything to do with this, like, sisterhood, this familial thing. Like, she's just like, that's not my problem. I don't think so. But to skip ahead to a point of when they do meet their biological mother in Coventry, she is all of a sudden like, this is my new mom. God, I want to help this family. Like, this is my thing. Whereas Cameron is like, no, I don't want to be magic girl. I want my regular,
I have a family
kind of thing. Yeah. And so it's interesting to see how Alex just kind of bounces between just what kind of family she wants. And I don't know, I just, as I said when we discussed this, the times that we watched this, it is not to say that someone who is in their 20s cannot have gone through or be going through a grief of losing your family members at that age and everything like that. But the emotional turbulence that she goes through doesn't super feel characteristic for someone who is 21.
Yeah, there's also like,
it feels teenage. There's a lot of stuff that feels teenage about
it goes back to like their, like, the age that they feel that they are depicted as bounces around. Like, yes, they are 21, but as we said, they act a little bit weird for 21-year-olds, especially like Alex as a more, so to speak, level-headed 21-year-old who would like have like that, who would have had to mature at a young age because of the hardship she has gone through, and like living most likely with like a sick mother and like living without.
She probably had to get a job at 16 or something.
She probably like
that.
has not had many like opportunities afforded to her, and we know this because they speak about it both in this movie and the next one, like, briefly. So like, I get why she is the way she is sometimes, but then you have her like snapping, like, yes, at a moment of like high tension for her where she is undergoing a lot of anxiety and stress because of the things that are happening, and after they get attacked at one point, she does snap at Lucinda for bad reason. And I don't know, it just feels like there's like a weird, it always comes down to communication.
Yeah.
Like, there are moments where Alex gets blinded by the fact, like, oh my god, I have a sister and I have magic powers. That's awesome. That she just sort of ignores her best friend. And the best friend character in general is just not really explored that much and just sort of exists to, like, have a reason why this character is not living on the streets somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
But it just sort of like adds to like weird drama and like weird depictions of their age. There comes a moment where the two meet and they sort of convince each other. Cameron convinces Alex to go along with her to sort of work things out, to talk it out, like, oh my god, we look like each other, we have to be sisters, let's figure this out, like, this is exciting. Like, Cameron's really excited because she had a feeling something like this would happen. And Alex is less excited because this doesn't happen to normal people. But to combine with that, they find out that weird things are happening around them, like being able to do weird magic stuff of like switching clothes or accidentally slowing down time or
teleporting their
car or being chased by manifestation of darkness.
Yeah, as you do.
There's just a lot going on your 21st birthday, and they eventually wind up in Cameron's house, where Cameron wants to show off her new sister to her mother and father.
Like a puppy.
Like a little puppy. Alex is, of course, astounded that Cameron lives in such bouginess. And as they are rifling around in Cameron's room, they see the pictures that Cameron does of Coventry and of their mother, that they don't really know as their mother, but they sort of talk about. And they sort of connect the dots on both their powers, on Cameron's journaling and writing, Alex's journaling and writing, and Cameron's art. And through more accidental means, open up a portal to Coventry, to this alternate other universe. And every shot we get is like, it's weird to think where Coventry is. The setting itself is really strange, and I guess, yeah, you can explain it away like, oh, it's magic, it's fine, you don't really have to think about it. But it's like, all that we really see of the land is the castle itself, protected vaguely by like a barrier of magic held up by Miranda, the twins' mother, the twins' birth mother. And the rest of the land is like consumed by darkness for the last 21 years, like consumed by this like black and red smog that has just like absolutely covered the land. And I don't know how you come back. Like, obviously they come back from that, but like, how do you come back from that? The way they speak about it is as if like almost the entire population has been devoured by the darkness. And I guess we sort of learn or can put together more from the second movie that darkness just gets sent to the realm of darkness, which I guess is another one of the 9 like universes, maybe? Or like it's like a parallel plane, I don't know.
It's again funny because the book just says that Coventry is in Lake Superior. Yeah, it's an island.
This is not that.
Just in a lake. Yeah. We have a whole other dimension for some reason.
Obviously, they weren't going to they couldn't change the setting or anything like that, probably, from what they already had it set up as. But having it as like this weird, like, vaguely English landscape.
Yeah.
From the little bits we see, it like one just like in general, both before and after before the darkness is there and after the darkness is like repelled away, the world just looks empty. The only place that looks like it has any life to it is the castle, because most of it is just like landscape and a stray house or two. Like they're like, what are like other towns or like cities like? What is the economy like in this world?
Yeah,
how did you get that kickstarted again?
We have no build up for any of these things. Like, we only have what little bit of like, in the second movie, we see servants bustling around the castle, and that's it. There's no like anything else there.
Like, you can imagine, like, yeah, they are fixing the world up to be better, but I don't know. Again, it comes down to it. This is a DCOM, Disney Channel original movie from the early aughts, and I don't know. I guess that we're overthinking it, and the books maybe have more thoughts on setting that isn't. But then again, if it's just an island in the middle of Lake Superior, then I don't know what else you could do with it. Who could say?
Yeah.
there leaves a little bit to be wanted from the setting. That isn't just Magic Castle in the middle of like this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, the twins get to Coventry. And okay, cool. We're in a magic world now. That's wild. They meet up with Ileana and Karsh, who sort of give them the lowdown on what has happened and what's going on. And they don't meet their mother. They don't meet Miranda just yet. But we do occasionally get like cutaways to Miranda feeling something is wrong, or like feeling like something is about to happen, mostly concerning her daughters, who she has thought have been dead for the last 21 years, alongside Ileana and Karsh. And we also get another character who is extremely not a bad guy. There's no reason you would think this character is evil at all. Thantos, who is Miranda's new husband / the brother of her husband and the father of the twins.
Yeah. Her brother-in-law is now her husband.
Who at every turn is like assuring her, no, the girls in Ileana and Karsh can't be alive. They for sure died 21 years ago. Trust me, babe.
Wink, wink, hint, hint.
I get like obviously she must have trusted this guy and like gotten to know a perceived side of him from whenever she was married to her husband, Aaron. Aaron and Thantos, normal things to name your two kids. But I don't know. I don't get why, like, your husband dies protecting both you and the world from the darkness, and you go and marry his brother, who is, I guess, who's the only available bachelor there anymore, besides, like, servants?
I guess, yeah.
Obviously, she's not gonna touch those.
And we very much see that there is a bit of, like, a classism issue in this town, country, whatever.
Miranda's not, like, a great ruler, but she doesn't really have much of a kingdom to rule at the moment, so I guess she can't really be faulted.
Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers,
It's true.
I don't know. There's so much that this film had to draw from, in that, again, there are 10 of these books. And, okay, so say they decide, well, we're just going to adapt the first book into a movie. But the thing that just, again, is wild to me is why, again, if they felt that they needed to up the age of the characters, then what was the plan here? How do we change that to update the setting, the scene, or what have you? Because it's not like Disney couldn't make, like, as weird as this may sound, if you think about, like, Homeward Bound or something, like, that movie has dark moments to it. Like, Disney can and has made movies that, like, don't seem necessarily for kids. Some are more for teens, some are for youngers, like, and if you wanted to do something like tiptoeing the line of, like, that teen early 20s, they probably could have done something with that, but they just didn't. Again, love them to death. Were Tia and Tamara the only twins that you could have on retainer for this? Like, was there no one else? They were 27.
Yeah, exactly. They were 27, and the age gap between Tia and Tamara and the woman who plays Miranda, they're only 9 years apart. Yeah, it works whenever you turn your brain off, but it is a little weird.
Yeah.
And it's not like Disney couldn't have, like, hired two different looking people or, like, similarly looking people and just said they're fraternal twins or something. Like, I don't know.
Our running joke of, you could have just had Allie and AJ.
You could have just had Allie and AJ.
Which, like, they did a song for the movie. We love them.
Had to save them for cowbells.
We did have to wait for that. Because now I gotta research
how old they were when this came out.
Yes.
So yeah, while you look that up, pretty much Ileana and Karsh inform the twins of, like, what is going on and what their role is in it. And Alex is like, no way, I'm out again, because she has the gift of knowing. She knows that all of her stories that she writes end with death. Usually something bad will happen, and she does not trust that she will come out of this alive or better off. Cameron is able to convince Alex to, like, stay and tell her that, like, we can work together, we can do this, we can practice and become stronger. Again, this is all within one day. And they do actually have a montage of, like, them practicing their powers and doing, like, various comedic scenes of them using their magic and sort of growing both as a bond with each other plus their powers. And this is where they start calling themselves the Twitches, the Twin Witches. And it's cute. I like the scenes with them because you would hope and imagine that good chemistry with each other because of them being real life sisters and all. But just them having them hang out and do fun stuff together is always a fun time. You have Karsh and Ilion in the background watching and keeping an eye on them and bad things happening to Karsh. And it's your usual, like, slapstick humor from early Disney, and it's fine. It's a nice little time. It's a nice little romp out in the world.
So there's a little thing here that also just shocked me, in that I, being now 28, turning 29 next month, didn't know that Allie and AJ are in their early 30s right now.
Did you think they were older or younger?
I thought they were older.
Okay.
Like, they just, I don't know, there was just something I felt like they were. Allie Michalka is 33, and AJ is 31. Also didn't realize who was the older one in that duo. But that would place them as almost the better idea of Allie was 16 and AJ was 14 when this movie came out.
I think they could have done it. Like, they could have just said, like, they're fraternal twins. They don't have to look exactly alike.
Yeah.
And we could, like, we have them as, like, we have them in this story that does not need to make them 21 for some reason, where it feels a little weird. We can...
If they had said it was their Sweet 16, like, that would have been fine.
The one thing that I can, like, obviously they would have to rewrite around this or just write around it instead. The only thing I could think of is, like, if these characters are 21, we give them a reason that they can be in the world alone with a car and not have to worry about, like, a supervisor or anything like that. And yeah, you have stories where kids go off and do things in the city by themselves anyways, but still.
The 16 is the legal driving age, right?
Yeah, but that's like getting your, like, driver's, like, permit, like, and that's like driving with, like, a
I feel like
guardian.
They could have done that, though, of, like, oh, we got you into training and everything like that, and then for her 16th birthday, they got her a car, and now she's driving. You could have some antics with that, even. Like,
and then it's like,
sense.
And it's like, we can't drive, we don't have a legal guardian, and then Ileana and Karsh are right there. It's like, we have a guardians here.
Yeah.
Cue them having a bad driving, like, oh my god, we're gonna crash scene, but actually it's fine, don't worry about it, or magic saves the day. You know.
I forgot that they're making a sequel to Cowbells. Sorry.
They are making a sequel to Cowbells, is the thing. That'll be...
I'm excited.
We'll watch that for the podcast. Yeah. I don't know why or how, but we'll do it.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Which is weird, thinking that, like, Allie and AJ being, like, 16 and 14 and delivering Rush.
Yeah, like...
For the soundtrack? It's like,
that album was full of bangers. But then also seeing... Cowbells came out in 2006. So it was Twitches, Cowbells, Twitches 2.
Yes.
So they would have been...
15, 17.
Yeah, 15, 17 for Cowbells, and 18, 16 when Twitches 2 came out. So again, you could have just had them be 16 and done, like, something for that.
This is our ideal world where...
Yes.
The actresses / musicians that we like star in the movies that we want to see them in.
Again, none of this is to ever at all put down Tia or Tamara, because I love and appreciate them for what they do. They are phenomenal actresses, and I still am going to say I had fun with this movie. It's goofy. It's a nice little time. Like, could this have been a more accurate representation to the books? Could there have been a lot more things to it? Absolutely. But it doesn't change the fact that what we got is what we got, and it's not the worst thing ever. Like, we've seen much worse movies from Disney.
Yes.
And this is not one of them.
So we have these scenes of them bonding, and eventually this all comes together with the darkness finally arrives to, like, actually make itself more of a threat to them. they go to Alex's apartment, well, her friend's apartment, and the darkness attacks them, and this obviously extremely freaks the two of them out.
Yeah.
They're able to save themselves by transporting to Coventry, but this is the moment where the two sort of switch roles, where Cameron realizes, oh, this was supposed to be like a fun, magical fantasy experience, not me dying at the hands of some dark entity. I'm gone. And Alex being the one that's like, no, we have to do this. Like, we can do this together, like you said. And Cameron gives up. Cameron drops it, and she dips out, and Alex stays in Coventry and reunites with Miranda and meets Thanatos. And this is where Alex gets her, like, Mom, you're here scene. And it's like, okay, this is weird. This is a little strange. I don't know how to feel about this, but as a girl
it's just
going through the traumatizing experience of losing a parent, finding something to cling to is maybe a coping mechanism, but still.
I think, again, it is the place of, if you have been through 21 years of your life with someone who has fed you, raised you, cared for you, done everything for you, and, like, tried to give you the best life that they could have, and then you just meet this woman a few months after your mom died, and is like, oh, hey, I'm your birth mother, and she just kind of, like, out the windows everything with her dead mom. It's like, this is my new mom now, and I'm gonna cling to her, and she's gonna care about me, and it's like, girl, you don't know this woman from Jack. Like, no offense. Again, I don't see someone in their 20s, let alone realistically, even a teenager, I'm sure, would not immediately make this transition, but I could see someone who is a teenager being a bit better in a way about, like, oh, well, I've always wondered who my mom was, and I've this, that, or the other kind of thing, because again, to the point of in Sister Sister, there are points throughout the series that they do wonder, well, who was our mom? Who was our dad? Like, and they have questions about these things. And one of them cares more than the other at certain points. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, my parents are still my parents. Whether it's like Tamara's like happy with her dad just being her dad, and she's not sure how she feels about a new mom coming into their life, or Tia's like, I love my mom, I'd like to know who my other mother is, but like, it's always gonna be my mom at the end of the day. So, and that show, again, takes place through like late high school into early college. So these girls are late college now, and it's like, yeah, screw my dead mom, I got a new magic mom. Like,
hell yeah.
In another dimension. And it's like, girl, really? This woman could be a witch and you wouldn't know it.
But we have it is sweet at the very least that she has something, and it's sort of and we sort of get more from this relationship a very little bit in the sequel, but again, we'll get there
when we get to the sequel, when I stop ranting about this.
So Cameron is alone. She has a Halloween costume birthday party that is being thrown from her or for her at her extravagant LA mansion, her McMansion, and she's a little sad girl a little bit. And as the night progresses, she confesses to her adopted mom everything that's going on. The magic stuff, the alternate universe, the sister, and her mom takes it in stride. Her Cameron's parents, adopted parents, are very cool. Like, her dad's fun and a little like a little witty and in over his head at times, but he very much so cares about
He puts
Cameron.
up with a lot.
Yeah, he puts up with a lot, but you can tell he really loves her. And her mom are like close and like best friend types. And Cameron's parents and Cameron have like a really cute relationship. Like, you could tell like these are characters that do love each other. And it's sort of like, that's why you sort of like miss Alex having any family relationship in this, and not really, and like, yeah, she has a best friend, but we don't really get that connection there. But Cameron spills it all to her mom, and her mom takes it in stride. And as the party goes on, The darkness, knowing that Cameron is alone, or sensing that Cameron is alone, attacks her. And it is only through like the help of Ileana and Karsh's sacrifice, so quote unquote sacrifice, that Cameron is able to escape and make her way back to Coventry. This is after Cameron's mom sort of helps connect the dots that Cameron would dream of this face in the darkness that would be attacking her as a child, and that she drew. And as she's able to get the picture and find the picture she drew of this figure in the dark attacking her and bring it with her to Coventry, where Miranda, Alex, and Cameron meet up and are sort of able to lay a trap of their own. They sort of just put the pieces together and are like, okay, let's just do something about this right now. We find out that Thanatos has been the real criminal all along. Wow, who would have thought?
Wow. The guy named after the Greek god of death was bad?
Weird. They pin him to the crime after he tries to trick the girl, Alex and Miranda, into believing that Cameron was killed. And they are able to restrain him alongside Miranda, and are able to make him confess that the reason he did everything he did was because he was so madly in love with Miranda and was jealous that his brother Aaron got to have the wealth, the power, and the woman he loved. Dude, get over it.
Yeah, it's been 21 years.
Bro,
dude.
I mean, I guess he did get to marry her. Like, he did marry her. Like, he could have played this way better. I'm just saying.
It's interesting because from what I did read on, like, the books, that is one of his main things, was he was just always in love with Miranda, and he got real mad about her marrying his brother. Like, none of the stuff is good with these families.
They might have been open to it. Like, they might have gone, like, polygamous.
Did you ask?
Like maybe she would be, like, into having two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
And then there's the third brother, but he doesn't even come up in the movie.
Maybe they're like freaks in Coventry. We don't know.
It's another dimension. They probably don't have the same ideas as we do.
Thanatos is able to escape from his bonds with his powers of darkness and kidnaps Miranda and starts rampaging through the castle. And it is through the combination of the twins' power that they realize that it's not light that vanquishes the darkness. It's love.
Aww.
They are able to use their power and the feelings that they feel whenever they think of their loved ones and push back both the darkness, defeat Thanatos, and restore Coventry back to its previous state. Again, it's just a bunch of empty plains and a few farmhouses.
Good luck putting that all back together.
Sure, they bring their mother back. They got Karsh and Ileana back somehow, I guess. Sure. And they're able to celebrate their birthday on Earth. They go back to Cameron's home. They bring Miranda and Karsh and Ileana with them to meet Cameron's adopted parents. And ta-da! That's the movie. They have a happily ever after because they're able to save the day with their power.
That's kind of it. They have their happy birthday on Earth with Cameron's family, since she spent all this time getting this party together. And happy birthday, girls. Alex got a new mom. We never have to see her friend ever again.
But yeah, that's the first movie. It's a cute movie. I like it. I really liked it as a kid. I remember I remember watching it a lot. The first one way more than the second. But it was just like one of those movies that I was just like, oh, I really like the idea of this world. As an adult watching them now, I'm like, I wish the movie would go further. I don't know, maybe like let's say a modern day remake.
Again, there's so many. I would love to see either a modern day remake or like a Netflix series of this. CW do not interact.
CW do not interact.
I would like to see a modern day retelling of this that's more accurate to the books with these characters. And actually just build off the world. Again, there's some interesting stuff where in the movie it's, the Karsh and Ileana are a couple in this movie, where it's like, oh, we've been on and off for 21 years, and the second movie, they're gonna end up getting married, wow. as opposed to the books where Karsh is an older, like, wizard, like, TM that you would think with, like, the big gray beard and all that stuff, probably. And Ileana's around the girl's age because, surprise, she's actually Thanatos' daughter. So, there's a lot of stuff that they just didn't really pull out of the books when, again, there was a lot of stuff there. Again, the whole series was completed at this point. So,
yeah,
it's not like you couldn't have just done stuff with it, but...
It is what it is. I mean, look at the How to Train Your Dragon movies versus the books. They're extremely different media.
Yeah.
Extremely different tellings of a story. So it goes. So the weird thing about Twitches 2 is we don't really fully understand the time frame, but if I had to connect the dots, I would say it's like almost not even a month after the first movie.
Yeah.
In real life, Twitches 2 takes place 2 years, was filmed and produced 2 years after the first one in 2007. In the movie, we sort of pick things up a little bit after where they left. Alex is now living with Cameron and her parents on Earth. Supposedly, the two are able to go back and forth to Coventry whenever they want, but Alex has been focusing on having given the opportunity to now go to a very nice college where Cameron goes, due to the kindness of Cameron's adoptive parents, yes. A little, not weird, but a little strange scene happens where Cameron's dad tells Alex, like, hey, we care about you a lot. I know this is still weird. If it helps you, you can call me dad. Like, we can be your parents too. And Alex is like, thanks, but I'm good.
I'm cool. Thanks. No.
It's like, now you don't want another parent?
Again, they're in their 20s.
Yeah, that's why it's
like,
also a little weird, because, like, this is a 21-year-old you're talking to. Like, this is a legal adult, like a hard legal adult.
Yeah, like you're a grown adult living in my house. Would you like to call me dad? No! Get out of here.
I get it is a very kind gesture for a man who is like, who sees this down on her luck girl who has lost her family and is being thrown into this weird new situation. But it's still a little weird considering their age.
Yeah, real weird. And also Alex has a mom now.
Alex has a mom.
Alex and Cameron both have a biological mother in their life now.
And I still feel weird. Okay, it's not like this isn't. This is just this is a little issue I have with the movie in general. Alex has like such a both of them don't really interact with their mother in this movie in like a way that feels interesting or good.
No.
Their mother almost comes across at various points in this movie. Their mother almost comes across as like an antagonistic force to what the twins' goal is.
Yeah.
And it just feels really weird to think like, okay, a month ago or like not so long ago, you two all reunited and you were happy that you finally discovered each other. And now the mother is like, well, this is how things have to be here. I did some things that I didn't want to, but I had to. Yes, I was wrong. But it's fine, and this is how things are.
Again, we see a lot of like the classism issues, the just like monarchy issues. Like it's becomes very evident to an adult watching this movie that like their mother's not exactly the best about this. She's not a great ruler.
But Miranda's going through some things too. Because Miranda is seen, like, in her late husband Aaron's study, speaking to a portrait, like, looking around things in the room, reminiscing. And as she leaves through this, like, passageway, this, like, dimly lit passageway through, like, a secret tunnel that she keeps hidden away, we see that she is still being followed by some dark manifestation. The darkness is not fully gone. The darkness still exists around. We have like the twins are still trying to acclimate to the current situation, with them sort of like bickering at each other now. Like Cameron's used to being a spoiled, like only child. Alex is the more level-headed one, and so is being doted on or like respected more than Cameron is by both her parents and their family maid. And then we have Alex, focusing on school now. She's able to go study at a nice prestigious school where she can focus on her writing.
It's interesting how we kind of went from, again, in the first movie, Cameron's whole thing is, I don't want to do this magic stuff. I have a perfectly normal life at home on Earth with my family, and I'm good with that. Mm-hmm. And Alex is like, well, I don't have a family. I don't have anything or anyone. So, yeah, I'm going to go do this magic thing and live with, like, what this is, or follow that dream kind of thing. And now in this movie, Cameron's
they've swapped again.
Yeah, Cameron has decided, I've taken a year off of college. She wants to learn how to be a princess in her magic home world kind of thing, and follow whatever life that would entail, while Alex is like, I don't have time for magic. I've got to study for home ec, or whatever she's going to go into. It's like, hello?
It's like, I get, both are living out their different kind of fantasy. Okay, Cameron is a spoiled Earth princess.
Yes.
Who has always dreamed of more fantasy, and now she has getting it. Alex has been a down on her luck. Saying lower class feels wrong, but like lower income.
Yeah, she's from a lower income home for sure. Because again, she lived on a trailer park with her mom. Like, they were fighting to make ends meet. According to the book, like, her dad was just like a deadbeat who didn't really do anything for the family, and then just like left at some point, I think.
And now Alex is being given this opportunity to go and study at a nice college, and so she takes it. So she's focusing on like her life. They're both focusing on their lives in their own way.
Oh, sorry, correction.
Yeah.
Alex's dad in the books found out that she had magic and tried to use her powers to get like money and stuff like that. So their mom threw him out.
Awesome. Good.
And so he stole all of their money.
Shitty.
And that's why that happens.
www.fuckdads.com.
He shows up after her mom's dies to try to get her back, and then he gets killed.
Awesome.
by Thantos's younger brother. So it's all in the family. Everything is in the family. It's fine.
It's really fun in like children's like young. It's not even like young adult, I guess. Like younger audience novels where like shitty dudes gets what's coming to them. Because I always remember in the first Percy Jackson book, Percy's mother is like in a relationship with this like really shitty abusive man, and because of the events of the book, Percy kills Medusa and cuts her head off, and then gives that as a gift to his mom, and she uses it to turn the shitty abusive dude into a statue, like a stone statue, and then sells him as a piece of art to make money and like afford a nice place for her and Percy to live in.
Hey, good for her.
Yeah, like queen shit.
Yeah.
Remember, if your husband sucks, hit the bricks.
Yeah.
Turn him into bricks.
Hit him with a brick.
Hit him with a brick. But yeah, the two characters are just living their lives in their own ways. Cameron, this movie introduces boys.
Wow.
Cameron meets a very nice, handsome boy.
He's fine.
He's all right. He looks like a YouTuber from like the early.
If this
aughts,
is Dimitri that we're talking
like
about,
the mid-aughts.
If this is Dimitri,
it's Dimitri. Yes, it's
okay.
Dimitri.
Dimitri feels like a prototype manufactured Disney boy, is what I would say, because there are like elements to him that, in a more modern setting, I would say, are reminiscent of like Thomas Doherty, Ross Lynch, Zac Efron.
This was just what was attractive back then. People loved like a tall, like lanky dude with like a bad haircut.
Yeah.
And like a nice smile. Like that's all it took. But Cameron's like head over heel, like is like crushing on this guy, and she believes that he is a prince, and he doesn't really correct her on that. And he's able to like sort of help her a little bit with her magic that she is having trouble with. In actuality, Dimitri is a servant at the castle who does not have magic. And back in Earth Realm, Alex meets a boy named Marcus. I believe Marcus.
Yes.
Who was Cameron's boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend, And Alex and Marcus meet by Marcus thinking that Alex is Cameron. Of course, twin shit. This gets corrected pretty early on, but the two sort of have their love interest set up. And, sure, why not? We could add it to the drama pile as we go along.
Yeah.
But Cameron's having a weird day as a princess, and Alex is having an alright day as a normal person. And as things go on, the two sort of get these signs that their father, Aaron, is still alive, thought to have been dead years ago on the day they were born, sacrificing himself to protect the castle and his daughters. Mm-hmm. They believe that he is still alive in the Shadow Realm or the Shadowlands. And when they go to their mother about it, their mom is like, "No, stupid. This is probably just Thanatos trying to gain power again in the Shadowlands." It's like, why don't you your daughters have the gift of sight and knowing. They have powers that you have acknowledged are very strong and intuitive. Why don't you believe what they are saying?
She's not a good mother, to them, which I guess in this scenario is kind of a good thing that they are fully grown adults and they don't really have to have her as their mother because she's not a good one. But she does seem just very, dismissive of any of the, possibilities that they have. I don't know if it's this misplaced thing of, oh, well, I know how this world works kind of thing.
Miranda is, super sad over the death of her husband. And she has been holding on to this for 21 years. And I get that, yes, some pains never go away fully. Girl, learn some coping mechanisms. I promise you will get through this.
I don't think they have therapy in Coventry.
Probably not. They probably have terrible mental health care.
Yeah.
But your daughters have these powers and of cognition that you don't really possess yourself. You could trust them on this. On the other hand, I understand where her trepidation comes from, because to her, there's no way her husband is still alive. This is yes, Thanatos is a very fresh wound to her that she trusted. She trusted this person enough to marry him and care about him in that way. And he is probably still out there in the Shadowlands waiting to come back into power. And so she's like, "No, we need to stop him now before he gets strong. We're going to do this vanquishing spell that only the two of you can do during the solar eclipse. And we're going to make sure that we cast out all evils from the Shadowlands." Mm-hmm. If they perform the spell correctly, everything in the Shadowlands will be destroyed, including their father. And Alex is like, "But that's my dad."
My dad. That's our dad who we have to care about. And it's like, do we? Again, girl, if we were to, even take a little bit from the books here, okay, even if we don't take anything from the books, you have had a good mother for 21 years of your life who has done everything she can for you. And technically speaking, even though it's still weird, you now have your sister's dad, his adoptive father, who is willing to be a father figure for you. Girl, you have a better option right there. Or you just don't need one. It's fine.
You're fine. During all of this, before we continue the plot as it gets big, it's almost not even worth talking about. But just to touch on it, other plot points in the movie. Karsh and Ileana are getting married.
Whoa.
They have an on-again, off-again relationship. They are now on again. They're going to get married. Maybe again? I don't know if this was...
Again, they have very married energy and divorced energy at the same time.
Yeah, it's fun. They have a fun dynamic. It's fine.
Yeah.
And on the other side, we have boy troubles. Cameron finds out that Dimitri is just a servant. They catch him holding an orb. He tosses it into a bush. He tries to play it off. But Ileana and Karsh accidentally reveal that he is a servant. And I don't know. He never lied to her, but I guess he never told her the truth. And this puts Cameron in a bad mood. Dimitri runs off a little embarrassed. Alex tries to be like, "No, it's fine, dude. She really likes you. You have a chance." Before she smalls him because she thinks that he's actually an agent of Thanatos. This is where Miranda reveals that besides the royal family and Ileana and Karsh, there is no magic in Coventry. It has all been sealed away by Miranda because she's afraid that people will abuse that power.
Yeah.
Girl, that is not your decision. This is
No.
a weird dictatorship you're lining yourself up for.
It really, again, I could see if it was like Thantos in fear that, like, oh, maybe the twins did survive or something like that. Like, made some kind of thing where he sealed away the magic from everyone or stuff like that kind of thing. And maybe Miranda, just 21 years later, either A, kind of just got used to it or forgot about that to, like, do anything with it. Or B, maybe she's just not strong enough to do anything about it. That's fine. But no, it's Miranda. She's just kind of... Miranda's like the secondary antagonist of this film, it almost feels like.
It's really weird. I don't know. Like, obviously she comes around by the end, but it's just a very strange depiction of this character who is very, like, mostly passive in the first one, of course, but, like, very worried about her daughters and, like, hopeful and, like so genuinely happy when she was able to reunite with them.
Mm-hmm.
To turn into, like, sort of like a more cold, dismissive person who you could tell, like, she's, like, trying to think of, like, Coventry as a whole, but, like, she also feels like she's holding, like, she's a little bitter about things that have happened recently and have happened years ago, as evidenced by her still holding on to the memory of her dead husband.
Girl, get over it. All of you, just get over it.
Just get over it, come on. Get on with it already. Other boy problems we have is Cameron and Alex have, like, a weird squabble over Marcus and the normal realm.
Yeah.
Shrug. It's sort of there to show that they're bickering, but then they get over it and are like, okay, now we're fine together.
We're besties again.
But we have the vanquishing spell to vanquish evil from the darkness from the realm, except Alex finds that there is an alternate to this spell, where you replace the last line with saving our friends from the darkness rather than destroying the darkness altogether. This would hopefully free their father Aaron from the dark and not kill him forever. And because that line is Cameron's, it is up to Cameron to say the line that will save their father. The day of the solar eclipse comes, we have a very small entourage of, like, servants / like, handmaidens or something.
Because we had no one else in this world to show up that wasn't just a servant.
You have people watching as the twins float into the air and start casting the spell. And when the moment comes, Cameron decides to do the spell as the vanquishing spell and rid the land of darkness, because she would rather not take the chance that Thantos could come back. Could be a threat to them.
Which, like, smart.
Yeah. Like, I can't fault Cameron from this. A lot of this movie is, like, Alex is correct that her father is out there.
Yeah.
But she is also being tricked, as we quickly come to find out. And Cameron is doing the level-headed thing of, like, no, bitch, we need to kill the darkness. Thantos is such a threat. He consumed the realm. He consumed the universe in darkness, except for 0.1% of it.
Realistically, and no offense to Alex, you are trading the potential life of your father for the lives of thousands of millions of people in this reality.
And even if you did do the spell that would bring your father back, what is to say that Thantos doesn't just piggyback
also
alongside him?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, cool, your father's really weak from having to, like, subsist in a world where he couldn't really live, versus Thantos thriving in it and only being gone for a month and coming back maybe stronger than ever. Like, girl, you have to think about these things. Alex just, like, has the idiot ball in her hands for, like, a little bit, leading into the scene where she, like, rushes off to her father's study, and is being guided by some force in the darkness that she believes is her father to another spell that will forfeit her own magic power to give to a person in the dark realm to give them to, like, save them.
Yeah, I can transfer my power to someone and make them have my magic.
And she does.
Which is what Dimitri was, like, trying to have a smidge of. So we had this sort of set up that this is a thing that can happen.
Yes.
But also Dimitri was just like, I just want to use a little bit of magic because I don't have any.
I just want to impress. I want to impress the cute
pretty girl. Yeah.
But she does not bring her father back. She brings back her uncle Thantos.
What?
More eyeliner than ever, looking more evil. The darkness has only made him look more like a Dracula.
Yeah.
Good look. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it works. Thantos is back, baby. And the first thing he does is lock everyone out of the castle and go and hunt down his brother, who has been hiding away in, like, the Earth realm in other people's shadows to, like, keep an eye on the girls. Currently inside the shadow of the housemaid, Cameron's housemaid.
So Alex wasn't wrong, technically.
No.
But also, girl.
She was being a majority of the movie.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, anytime we see a shadow in the Earth realm, it is their father. But he never really makes himself known to them. And anytime we see a shadow in the dark, in Coventry, it is Thantos. And he does make himself known, but as a figure pretending to be Aaron to Alex.
Yeah. Every time.
Thantos brings Aaron back to Coventry. Karsh, Ileana, Miranda, Alex, Cameron, and with Dimitri's help, are able to break back inside of the castle and get to the tower where, honestly, Thantos is just bullying Aaron. He's just, like, tossing him around, like,
knocking
just
him about,
zapping, just like zapping him a little bit, like tasing the guy.
Yeah.
And the final climax here is just kind of boring. Like, Karsh and Ileana try to stop him. They get knocked off the side and are, like, hanging on for dear life. Alex is powerless.
Alex can't do anything because she gave her magic. For now, I guess.
Alex gets zapped and, like, held off of the ledge on one direction. Cameron gets held off over a pit on another. And it sort of, like, comes down to, like, Miranda's trying to keep them safe. Yes.
But Thantos wavers when he sees that he might lose the chance to kill his brother for good.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
And this is, like, enough time for, like, the family of four to, like, regather and, as you would know it, use the power of love and togetherness to vanquish Thantos once again, once and for all.
They yeet him down the Spartan pit.
They yeet him down the Spartan pit that I guess does not have an end?
Maybe. Or it just goes into, like, a pure light thing, and I guess he's evil, so it just, Kingdom Hearts is light.
And I mean, at the end of the day, the vanquishing spell did work. It did destroy the darkness from the realm. And now Thantos is gone.
Detour.
Yeah. Like, hey, at the end of the day, everything is saved. We get our happy ending. We get the wedding of Karsh and Ileana is there. Alex has her boy Marcus. Cameron has her boy Dimitri. Everyone, I don't know. It's again, this movie feels more rushed in a way.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because we already know the characters. We know the setting. We're sort of very, very little plotting that out a little bit. And we have Aaron back.
Yeah, there's no world building that really takes place in this.
No.
Which is kind of weird, I guess, that you would consider.
Besides the world, like, the magic was taken out of the world by Miranda.
Yeah, that was it.
We find out that Miranda gives the magic back.
She does fix things eventually.
She does, like, give things back, but she also gets her husband back so she can stop being a sad woman. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
And that's the movie.
That's Twitches.
We end on them chanting, "Go Twitches, go Twitches." Before we talk, I need to show you something. This is what I messaged you before we recorded that I found something insane.
Okay. Is this the same level as Thomas Sanders' High School Musical Kingdom Hearts AFA?
No, this might be better.
Do
you okay, first, do you know about the alternate ending to Twitches 2?
I didn't see it on the Wikipedia, so no.
I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. I need to find out because I don't want this to spoil anything. You have to give me a quick second to do, like, a quick research. Okay. I didn't want the icon to spoil it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to pause it, and we're going to watch it together, okay?
Okay.
Get to 000, whatever.
Yeah. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm on play. 3, 2, 1, play.
Extraordinarily happy. Oh, beautiful.
I saw this, and was like, this is insane.
It's so good. I just can't figure out what flavor it is.
And they're really weird dresses.
Yeah.
Hey, come here. Huh?
Alex has a better one.
I never thought I'd
Alex
go
has a
on
better
like this.
one.
I don't want it to end.
Oh, well, it doesn't have to.
How sweet. A family reunion. Oh my gosh.
Her.
Oh? Oh?
Hello, sister. Aaron. Minerva?
Minerva? She's out.
Oh, bye.
Your sister.
Her long lost sister.
Not the only twin.
It wasn't my fault. What are you doing here? I thought it was about time for me to meet my two famous nieces.
Famous.
One of them clearly takes after me.
Which?
Minerva? No.
Stop it.
And it won't be that easy to get rid of me this time.
There they go burning
They
all
love to
the...
set fire to flowers.
Yeah.
Sister.
Could you imagine that third movie?
God. See, on the one hand, of now knowing there is nothing of that character in the books,
No.
I would love to see them just take this original idea on and just wherever that would go.
What a wild ending. One, what if that ending had been canon and we never got a third one anyways?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think that's such a, like, I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? I never knew about that all these years. You just, like, in an alternate ending somewhere, y'all just drop that there's another, that
Surprise.
Miranda has a sister and that she would have been a, so to speak, a villain. Miranda's like, it wasn't my fault to whatever
Yeah.
banished Minerva away. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I would have, like, I feel like there also could have been some, and again, this is like weird fantasy, like teen drama kind of stuff that you could do, is like, maybe Minerva's influence is why Miranda was so distant and cold, like, this movie, and that could have explained why.
And, like, she drops it, like, Minerva drops a line of, like, oh, one of them takes after me.
Yeah.
And it's like, one, obviously that would probably be Alex, but I think it'd be way more interesting if it was Cameron. Like, you could
Right.
have, like, a weird, like, one of them falls briefly to the dark side or something.
Yeah.
There's like, ideas here that are like, this is... If I would have saw this as a kid, I would have been like, oh my god, I cannot wait till Twitch is 3.
Right.
And then we never would have gotten it. And I'm
gonna at Tia and Tamara on
Yo, where's
Twitter
this
and be
revival?
like, girls. Look, if Allie and AJ can start talking about a Cowbell sequel like in 2019 and work on that, then I think we can have them do a Twitches 3.
But yeah, this is that, like, I don't know. That doesn't really make any additions to what we watched the other movies, but it's fun. I think that would have been a fun ending. And again, I think at the end of the day, I'll always think, like, these movies are fun little comedies that you turn your brain off. You don't think about them too much because they're DCOMs, and you just enjoy them. And yes, they are for kids, but adults can also enjoy things too. And also the space that these characters were, like, 21, that they were of an age that most people were, that the age demographic that was watching this when it aired were not 21-year-olds probably. Like, I don't know. There's some weird space you could have played in, but it is what it is. You sort of just, like, take it as it is, and the end product is still a very nice duo of movies.
I had to read Tamara does want a Twitches 3.
Let's go. I mean, we are in the age of revivals. Like, we are in the age of, like, revivals, like, remakes. It's not unheard of, and especially with Disney Plus money. We almost had Lizzie McGuire. We are getting supposedly getting Cowbells 2.
Right.
This isn't Disney related, but we have the iCarly sequel series, iCarly reboot. We just have these shows / movies that are coming back to a more... it is commercialized nostalgia, but I am not immune.
I am not immune to nostalgia, yes. I mean, I have had it put by a better commentator of nostalgia is simply the pain of coming home, and I would love to come home to find out that we're getting a Twitches 3, even though this is the first time I've watched these movies fully in my life.
There's something there, and it again,
yeah.
like, you're a fan of like witch media and stuff like that, like people coming into their powers, and a movie like this where usually we get people coming into their powers as children, having that happen to adults is interesting. The movie does not play in that space well enough, but the idea is there. I like the idea of like, oh yeah, we Hogwarts train, now we're adults in the real world with jobs in college, also still needing to learn how to use our powers because we're princesses of a magical world. Give me that. Would it work? Would it be weird to see like a now 40-year-old Tia Tamera pick up these characters? Probably. I don't know if it would work as well, but I think that they could figure something out. Maybe it'd be interesting.
See, the interesting thing, because when I was doing a little reading on it just now, was Tamara saying Hal Bailey and Chloe Bailey. She's like, I would love to have them like be our kids or something like that for a future where it's like where they wouldn't be obviously like direct twins, but still something. And it's like, yeah, why not just do that? So they're down for it. We just need Disney to do something with it. Yeah, they're basically just like, I think a Disney Plus movie could be fun for this kind of thing. And funny seeing Hal Bailey saying they couldn't be our moms, but I think they could be like our aunts or something.
Yes. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to have like that, like a new take on it, but like a modern one.
Tia and Tamara are down for it, and Chloe and Hal are good for being like the new Twitches, essentially. So
we'll see what the cards have in store for us. But yeah, that has been our Halloween month. We missed a week, but who cares? We would just had what? Hocus Pocus? We watched...
yeah, that's not important.
We watched the better Disney Witches movie.
Yeah, honestly.
And coming up is November, where there's Thanksgiving.
Well, but we might have some fun little treats hidden in there, whether it's another Hallmark or something maybe a bit more festive before then. We
will figure something out, and I think we have ideas, and we will, just for this month, be going back to another 2-episode a month release schedule until we get to Christmas, because we are right around the corner from more Christmas movies. It feels... it's such a weird thing to think that July was both almost a long time ago / not that long ago, to be already back around to Christmas.
It was still
and Hallmark.
3 months ago. It was 3 months ago, and we're going on...
And 3 months ago feels like a year ago.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
And in 2 months, or less, actually a month, because we're at the end of October now, we would be going back into holiday. Time isn't real.
Time is not real. All right. We have been Holidaze Podcast. As always, I am Tyler. You can find me at JazzySmoothReal. And to shamelessly plug Will at Schwilliam13.
Thanks.
You can find our show at Holidaze Pod. And you can find us on YouTube, where we upload all our episodes. Otherwise, we don't really have anything else going on at the moment, do we? Looking forward to the future.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Be safe out there. Spookus Grookus, everyone.
Spookus Grookus.
Everyone, have a good night. And I mean it.
Or else.
Or else. Ooh.
Spook.
Spook.